The U.S. House of Representatives has passed a bill to protect access to contraception. However, there are concerns that it could be threatened by a conservative Supreme Court that revoked the ruling guaranteeing a nationwide right to abortion. The bill passed the Democratic-controlled House on a vote of 228 to 195, with all 220 Democrats and 8 of the chamber's 211 Republicans supporting it. It faces uncertain odds in the evenly divided Senate. Well, for more of these stories, I'm joined by Arise US correspondent Eric Ham, who is in Washington. Great to see you, Eric. First of all, President Biden said to have tested positive for COVID-19 and is experiencing mild symptoms. What's the latest on that?
That's right, Charles. The president has now contracted COVID. This is his first time contracting COVID. But we do know that President Biden has been vaccinated as well as boosted. We are also told that he's taking an additional drug, Palaxavir, to actually combat the symptoms of COVID-19. We're told that he is experiencing some mild symptoms, fatigue and shortness of breath, as well as a dry cough. But we are also told that he will continue to work in isolation from the residence of the West Wing of the White House, where he will engage in virtual meetings and as well as continue to engage virtually with staff from the White House. We do know that the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, will schedule a briefing in about an hour that will take us through all of the details of the president having contracted COVID. We're expected to hear from the White House coronavirus task force leader, Raj Shah, as well as others from the White House medical staff that will provide additional details about the president's status at this time.
And briefly, what about his wife, Jill? I understand she's tested negative, so safe for the moment.
Yes, in fact, she has tested negative, and we also know that Vice President Kamala Harris has also tested negative. We do know, of course, Kamala Harris had contracted the virus a few months ago, but right now everyone outside of the president is actually negative.
Right, let's go to Capitol Hill, a place you're well familiar with, Eric. 3 hours of rage is what they're calling it, as the January the 6th panel wraps up its summer hearings with a primetime show. I mean, tell us more, and why is it called Rage?
Yeah, it's being called Rage because of how the president responded, not only in the lead up to the insurrection. Of course, we know about his entanglement with U.S. Secret Service, where we're told that he grabbed the arm of one of those agents inside the car who refused to take him to the Capitol, where the insurrectionists were attacking the Capitol dome that day. In addition to that, we're also told that the president was upset when Mike Pence refused to actually not decertify the election and threw things in the White House dining room. And so there are a number of titles they certainly could have used. Rage is one, but of course, 187 could have been another one, because what we are now told is this hearing is going to focus on those 187 minutes, those 3 hours that President Trump did nothing while attackers stormed the Capitol, attacking police, and also threatening the lives of the vice president, the Speaker of the House, and other members of Congress. And so we're going to get a detailed blow-by-blow, up-to-minute response in terms of what the president did and did not do. And Charles, we're going to hear from a former national security advisor who served under President Trump, as well as another senior staffer, 2 individuals who are seen as close to the president and also who worked for President Trump the entire 4 years that he was in the White House. So these are people who know him, who know the inner workings, and more importantly, who were there on the day as the president watched this unfold.
So, Eric, I mean, what are they trying or hoping to achieve with this 3-hour primetime hearing? And is this marathon event likely to have a large captive audience?
Well, as far as audience goes, we know the first hearing that took place in prime time received an audience of more than 20 million viewers. This hearing, many expect that it will likely have a similar audience. In addition to that, we do know that a seasoned Hollywood producer has come in to actually produce this hearing. So it is expected to be made for TV. And Charles, if you go back and look at the other 7 hearings that took place, they were all compelling, must-see television where we heard and got information that left us shocked by what we heard and what we witnessed. And so many expect this to actually follow in the same line. Now, we do know the chairman of the committee will not be there today because he also has tested positive for COVID as well. But this is expected to be a hearing where we know they are going to try to connect the president directly to what happened. And also, this could be the icing on the cake that they will need to be able to make that criminal referral to the Justice Department. Because, again, it's not so much what the president did, but more importantly, what he did not do when he saw the violence taking place and did nothing, did not call up the National Guard, did not immediately call for those insurrectionists to leave the Capitol. And of course, we know that many believe that he lit the fuse when he sent out that tweet saying, "Come to the Capitol, it will be wild."
And Eric, we've got time for one more story. The House of Representatives passing a bill to protect access to contraception. Tell us about that and how it might be threatened by a conservative Supreme Court.
Yeah, in fact, what we're seeing now is after the overturning of Roe versus Wade, the 50-year precedent that allowed women in this country to receive an abortion, what we're now seeing is Congress is moving very aggressively to try to codify a number of key issues that they believe could be on the docket for the Supreme Court. Of course, one is interracial marriage, gay marriage, and the other is the right to contraception. And so if these issues are actually codified into law, it will make it more difficult for the Supreme Court to actually strike them down. And so what we're seeing here is the House of Representatives moving to pass contraception legislation. It passed along party lines with all Democrats supporting it and 8 Republicans. The question, of course, can it actually get a hearing in an evenly divided U.S. Senate? That is where it will be difficult because right now it doesn't appear as though it has the votes to actually get through the Senate. But what we're seeing is an aggressive move by the House to move on these issues.
Eric, thanks ever so much. Eric Ham, Arise US correspondent, talking to me there from Washington.